Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess named Snow White. Her beauty was as pure as the driven snow, and her kindness knew no bounds. However, her stepmother, the queen, was wicked and vain. The queen owned a magical mirror, which she would consult every day, asking, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" For years, the mirror always answered, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." One day, the mirror gave a different answer. "Snow White is the fairest of them all." In a fit of jealousy and rage, the queen decided that Snow White must be eliminated. She ordered her huntsmen to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. The huntsman, however, could not bring himself to harm the innocent princess and told her to run away. Snow White fled deep into the forest, where she stumbled upon a small cottage. Tired and hungry, she entered and found it empty but meticulously tidy. Feeling exhausted, she fell asleep across the 7 tiny beds she found inside. When the owners of the cottage returned home, they were surprised to find Snow White. The owners were 7 dwarfs who worked in the nearby mines. Their names were Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey. When Snow White awoke, she explained her plight to the dwarfs. They took pity on her and invited her to stay with them. Days turned into weeks, and Snow White became like a sister to the dwarfs, who loved her dearly. Meanwhile, the queen discovered through her mirror that Snow White was still alive. She was enraged and decided to take matters into her own hands. She disguised herself as an old peddler woman and visited the cottage while the dwarfs were away. The queen offered Snow White a poisoned apple. Unaware of the danger, Snow White took a bite and instantly fell into a deep, death-like sleep. When the dwarfs returned, they were heartbroken. They placed her in a glass coffin, unable to bury someone so beautiful. Years passed, and one day, a prince riding through the forest saw Snow White in her glass coffin. Captivated by her beauty, he leaned down and kissed her. This act of true love broke the spell, and Snow White awoke. Overjoyed, the prince asked Snow White to marry him, and she agreed. The dwarfs rejoiced and bid her farewell as she left with the prince to his kingdom. There, Snow White and the prince were married in a grand ceremony and lived happily ever after. As for the wicked queen, when she asked her mirror who was the fairest of them all, it shattered into pieces, for her evil had consumed her completely. And so, goodness and love triumphed, and Snow White and the 7 dwarfs remained forever in the hearts of those who cherished this tale. The end.